We're back and we're going to talk about how XRP could take on Bitcoin. And no, those were not my words, because I believe that Ripple and Bitcoin, or XRP and Bitcoin, are two completely separate entities or utilities, or they have separate utilities. Bitcoin was created for the people by the people to kind of combat against a predatory third-party system, the banking industry, while Ripple meant to take on the banking industry with compliance. And again, it's not a bad thing what Ripple does, and it's not a bad thing what Bitcoin does. And I don't like the toxic maximalism and the terrible conversation that goes on that X is better than Y. Diversification is incredibly important, and a lot of people fade diversification, especially in crypto, because of the tribal mentality. And I don't think that's a good idea. I don't think you win that way long term. I think it's okay to admit, you know what? XRP is my favorite. I love it. It's the best ever. But I also understand what Bitcoin is. I understand that I can make money there, and I'm not going to fade it, or vice versa. And I think that's a really healthy way to look at investing, and also take on personal accountability, because at the end of the day, we're here to make as much money as ethically and legally as possible. And you do that with keeping an open mind. You do that with self-education, and you do that with personal accountability. So anyways, we're going to talk about that. We're going to talk about some other crypto things that are happening. The market seems to be picking up, which is great. So welcome back to the O Show, everything crypto every single day. I'm WendyO. If you're watching this from Rumble, we got an update on the Rumble wallet. I've got some thoughts about it too. Shout out to Twitch. Shout out to those that can actually see me on X, because we are shadow banned there heavily. If you type in CryptoWendyO in Google, you will not see my X account at all. You won't see my X account, but you'll see like posts from X, but you won't see X as a social media. And that's absolutely crazy, because you see literally like, you see YouTube and TikTok and Instagram and Facebook and LinkedIn, which I don't even use LinkedIn anymore. We stopped doing that. So that's kind of crazy. Kind of a little bit crazy over there. I don't know if it's a Google thing or X thing, but we're 100% shadow banned on X. All analytics, every single piece of analytic that they have, I checked the creator studio this morning. I normally don't check it, but we're down 40 to 49%. So we're definitely shadow banned over there, is what it is. Can't do anything about it. And we all know that TikTok's just an absolute hot mess right now, but it is what it is. So that's why I'm focusing more on YouTube. I'm focusing on Meta products, Instagram, Facebook, and Threads. Those are, I never thought I would be saying it in a million years, but they're actually great alternatives, especially for someone who wants to start doing content. And of course, hello to all my YouTube babes. I greatly appreciate you guys being here. Got to give a shout out to our channel members. So good morning to Mr. Lawrence. Thank you so much for the $10 super chat. I actually was craving like spicy noodles. So I was like, okay, I'm just going to go get some pad thai or something like that. But I might just make it at home, because I've got all this stuff. So we'll see. But anyways, it's my mom's birthday. So maybe we're going to go see her tonight. But thank you so much for the super chat. Good morning to Mr. Mike, to Mr. Legend, to Dale, to Callie, to Mr. R, to gorgeous Alexandra, to John watching me from Memorex, to Queen. Who else? To Gumby. Who else? Let's see. To Ken, to MJ, to Alpha Gamer, to Sparkwater. What else? Yeah, but let's go ahead and get into this. Oh, and Texas Exotic, not Joe Exotic, but Texas Exotic. All right, so let's go ahead and talk about kind of what's happening here with XRP, because again, CNBC, they just like to say things. They literally just like to say things, and it's crazy. They just out the side of their mouth. But good for them, because it gives us stuff to talk about, right? All right, let's go ahead and take a look. So this is what the market's looking like, but we'll go back there in a bit. So hold on. Oh, it was over here. So this post came, I think we saw it originally from CNBC. CNBC says XRP is the hottest crypto trade of the year. It is not Bitcoin. It is not Ethereum. And I'm going to, let's listen to it together. And I'm going to give you guys my hot take about it. And remember, at 6 p.m. PT, we do a news wrap up. I do a 2 to 3 minute short for you guys. And it literally has every single news story that we covered on the show, but in under 3 minutes. So if you're somebody that has a short attention span, go there. I posted there, but I also posted on Instagram, but you'll get better quality on YouTube. So go ahead and do that. But let's go ahead and listen to this clip together, my loves.
Hottest crypto trade of the year is not Bitcoin. It is not Ether. It is XRP, the coin formerly known as Ripple, soaring more than 20% this year, becoming the third largest cryptocurrency out there, and there's big money behind this trade. Mackenzie Sagalos joins us now with that XRP trade and what, Mac, is driving all of this interest in XRP.
So they also brought up Solana in the clip, and we posted the original one from YouTube here. We posted it, we pulled it, and then we posted it on X. I think it was the original one over here. Hold on, where is it? Yeah, we posted it over here. But they also talked about Solana too. And we've talked about Solana heavily on the show because I think Solana is a great competitor of Ethereum. And I think that, and it's obviously priced a lot less than Ethereum. And I'm not talking as a crypto person. I'm talking about somebody who creates content to 1.2 million globally on every single social media platform, reading my mentions and seeing what people are interested in. I'm talking to you in plain, simple English. Solana and Ethereum are both competitors. Solana is priced around $150, Ethereum priced around $3,000. So to me, as somebody who likes to, invest in different things, I would get both. And Solana is actually more affordable as far as capital goes. That's how lots of people think, not me. Well, me too, but just, to explain it very easily. Now, why is everybody talking about XRP? Everybody's talking about XRP is because retail loves XRP. XRP is retail's top crypto outside of Bitcoin. So that's why the institutions, and that's why they're talking about it all over mainstream media. Number one, they want views, they want clicks, and they know that that's what you guys want to hear. And that's what we do on the show too. We cover products and services and just news that is important to you. Make sure y'all smash the like. But it's important to you. So that's what we do on the show, and it makes sense. And again, XRP is priced at it's under $3. So for some people, when they scan the crypto markets, they're going to look and be like, oh, okay, I can buy some. I can buy $100 of it. That's what retail would think. So that's why they're talking about it. Now, can Bitcoin take on, or can XRP and Bitcoin take each other on? As far as gains go, XRP in the next time we have a crazy run will probably do a lot better than Bitcoin, primarily because Bitcoin doesn't have as volatile gains because it's a lot larger market cap. It's harder to move. But at the same time, it's going to be interesting to watch. And I hold both. So that was pretty neat for the XRP army. Shout out to Lawrence for the $20 super chat. Okay, I will go ahead and order some pad thai today. Shout out to Gamer as well. I'll go and order some pad thai today instead of making it. I did cook. I've been cooking all week, man. But yeah, let's get into it. Let's get back to the news. Alrighty. Now, this next story over here, this is more XRP stuff. And again, this is an article from CoinDesk. XRP could outperform Bitcoin as XRP chart, blah, 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 HTML cloud breakout, blah, blah, blah. This is the thing. It's probably going to, generally all coins outperform Bitcoin because Bitcoin's harder to move because of the larger market cap. But good article. Happy to hear that for them. Also, Binance leads XRP liquidations as price remains volatile. So this is from Cryptopolitan. They're basically talking about a lot of volatility with XRP here, nothing really unusual. I used to trade XRP with leverage, and it is incredibly volatile. It's one of the harder coins to trade because it's incredibly volatile, and it'll knock your stop loss out. You'll get knocked out with your stop loss instantly. So unless you're trading short time frames and you're sitting by the screen, it's one of the harder ones to trade. That's just my personal opinion, though. Now, this is from Bloomberg over here. And they said Ripple touts November, or hold on a second. I want to pause this. I want to pause it. I want to hear them. Ripple looks beyond XRP. They're talking about an IPO. I'm actually just going to get rid of that because I don't want it to go off. But that's according to Bloomberg. And this is something we've talked about on the show before, too. There's always a lot of rumors indicating that Ripple will IPO and whatnot. So let's go ahead. I'm going to read you the key points over here. So they raised $500 million at a $40 billion valuation in November, and the funds are being used to integrate a recent acquisition and grow the business. So basically what Ripple is doing is they raise money, and they've been using those funds to acquire different things like Hidden Road, I think, and a couple other ones too. Sorry, not off the top of my head right now. But basically, Ripple strengthens TradFi crypto bridge as its G Treasury acquires Solvlexa. That's in this article over here, but they're just doing a whole lot of acquisitions right now because, again, they want to take on the banking system. They want to take on the current financial system and operate within the constraints of the law. Bitcoin doesn't do that. It works differently. So that's why comparing the two doesn't make sense. Anyways, major investors include Citadel, Fortress, and other crypto-focused funds. Ripple has no immediate plans for IPO and is growing privately. They are pursuing a federal banking charter for RLUSD, and their acquisition brings new customers in tech, and they work closely with exchanges but do not plan to acquire one yet. I think what's going to end up happening, hold on, let me read this to you. Also, too, as far as their acquisitions go, they acquired corporate treasury management firm G Treasury. Or their firm G Treasury acquired Solvexa, and it's going to improve reconciliation and regulatory reporting automation. The acquisition boosts TradFi to crypto integration by making treasury finance and compliance processes faster and more accurate and audit ready. Again, they're preparing for mainstream. Okay. Will they acquire their own exchange? Maybe. Maybe they just want to work with the institutions. We don't know. Will they IPO? I don't know. It would make sense that they would IPO as like a smart business move. I don't see why they wouldn't. But at the same time, if they want to be private, sometimes people like to keep their companies private for various reasons. So we'll have to see. I don't see why they wouldn't IPO. But again, you guys have to also understand, Ripple just got out of a really, really big, long, ongoing court case with the SEC for quite some time. And they had to spend a lot of money on that. So they're probably doing baby steps. And we'll see what happens. I wouldn't be surprised if they do decide to go public, though, at all. So we'll see. Wisdom Tree withdraws its S1 registration for a spot XRP ETF. And this article over here is a little bit clickbaity, a little bit fuddish. But I don't think that's why XRP price dropped, in my personal opinion. I don't. XRP price just happened to fall 6% on the same day. The ETFs, the XRP ETFs from Grayscale, 21 shares, Bitwise, Canary, CoinShares, and Franklin Templeton are still under SEC review. Again, it's going to take a little bit of time to see that happen. Also, in addition to that, we are hearing more and more about the, about the Clarity Act and crypto regulation coming to fruition this week. So it looks like, market structure, market vote set for Jan 15th. And that's according to Ellie. And she's a source that I really, really, really like to where is it? That I like to use because I think she puts out more accurate information. But that's according to her, and I think that's very likely. Now, as far as XRP price dropping because of the FUD and whatever else, because of that listing, according to this article here, I don't think that was the reason why. I just think the entire market, as you guys can see, is down a little bit. Tron is up, M is up, Nexo is barely up, and Knight is up. So entire crypto markets are struggling just a little bit. So let's go ahead and take a look. Bitcoin is back at 91,000. Also, to you guys, if you want to trade with me, we are on Kraken. I've got my bundle over there. If you guys want, there's a link. If not, we've got iTrust for those of you that want to merge over your 401ks and be more studious. I don't know, whatever. We got those down there. But as far as Bitcoin goes, it looks like we erased all of our gains. We were up to 94,000 and now we're back at about 90,000. So it looks like we've erased all gains thus far this week, which is unfortunate, but that's life. We're currently testing the EMA 9. I'm taking a look at Ethereum. Ethereum's erased all gains. So they're down. Solana is down. XRP is down. XRP has not erased all gains, but again, XRP is a lot stronger than right now than Bitcoin, Ethereum, and Solana as far as price action wise. Chainlink, same thing. ADA, same thing. HBAR, same thing. Let's see. Hold on. Let's see what VeChain's doing. VeChain, same thing. So again, this is why it's important to read articles and then go fact check. And that's kind of what we did right now is we read and we talked about the article over here. Like it is important to know that Wisdom Tree did withdraw its S1 registration for a spot XRP ETF, but that's not why XRP dropped 6%. It dropped because the entire market's dropping. So there's that. Morgan Stanley came out again with another update. They filed for an Ethereum trust after their Bitcoin and Solana ETF push. In addition to that, the Solana ETF is going to be a staked ETF, and pretty interesting to see what Morgan Stanley is applying for. So they began offering crypto access to their clients in October through their wealth management arm, and basically it's like, you know what? We're seeing everybody else make money. The market is essentially tested. Let's do it. So that's what they're doing over here. Hold on. I want to see if I missed anything. Nope. It's just and it's also too an Ethereum trust that they're applied for is a spot Ethereum ETF. Also too, Ethereum reclaims DeFi crown with a 9% TVL, 9 times TVL share of next largest layer 1 ecosystem. So that's pretty neat. It controls about 68% of the total DeFi market, which is 9 times as much as any competing networks in terms of DeFi. Ethereum focuses on security and settlement in 2025. New upgrades improve smart wallets, reduce fees. Privacy protocols on Ethereum grew over 60% in TVL, which is important. So again, we're seeing Solana and Ethereum, both competitors, lots of Solana ETFs, staked ETFs, lots of Ethereum ETFs, staked ETFs, more of the Solana staked ETFs. Solana is more affordable to buy. Ethereum's a little bit more pricey, but Wall Street has picked it as its chosen one thus far. And we can kind of see what's happening as far as DeFi and whatnot goes. So that's what that tells me, but that's just my business. Also, too, we've got a little update over here from BNB. It's for BNB just completed its mainnet hard fork about an hour ago, so a couple hours ago, actually yesterday. And that block time reduced from 500 to 250 ms. So if you're somebody who's on BNB Chain, this is going to be good for you. But basically, they completed the mainnet hard fork. And BNB is a high-speed version of BNB Chain, like it needed to go faster. It's one of the faster chains out there. Block time's faster, which makes the network faster, and the network is now stable with better handling of finality. And the upgrade supports higher throughput and lower fees on BNB Chain. All right. And you guys remember actually, I'm going to do a second media piece on this for you because this is fun, but I'll tell you here while you're watching. Remember microstrategy? Remember, I think it was Morgan Stanley. I think it's part of Morgan Stanley, but MSCI, they were going to remove strategy. Hold on a second. Okay. So this is the MSCI. So remember they were supposed to remove strategy or they're going to reevaluate DATs and strategy was one of the big ones just because it's got so much, Bitcoin. Apparently, according to what they've got going on over there, they're going to keep digital asset treasury companies in its indexes for the February review. MSCI is a global firm that creates stock market indexes and tools used by investors to track and compare the performance of companies and markets. Some DAT companies resemble investment funds rather than traditional operating companies, but MSCI will review their classification later. And current index eligible DAT codes like strategy remain included if they meet other criteria. So we'll get more information for you guys as that comes. But basically, they're going to review these probably in February, which makes sense because everything always gets pushed back. But that was a big drama that was happening in Q4 of 2025. Y'all remember? A lot of people like, it was like a novella happening. It was a lot of drama. So that's good for now. But what happens if they decide to remove it later on? You don't know. Hold on, let me read the chat. Oh, yeah, Gamer, I did see that. So basically what came out with Trump, and I tweeted about this too, even though nobody can see my tweets. It's super fun, right? When you spend a lot of time building a platform and it just like gets shadow banned and deboosted for literally no reason. But that's okay. That's okay, right? That's okay. I don't know. Maybe I should start using bots like other people. I'm just kidding. I'm not going to do that. But yeah, this is absolutely crazy. These numbers over here, like you guys can see too, this is insane. This was like, would have been already like 2,000 views last week. So my account is 100% getting deboosted, which sucks. Incredibly frustrating, but is what it is. But this over here, Trump he wants to take steps to ban large institutional investors from buying single family homes. They should have done this a long time ago. I don't know why it's taken so long to do that, really. But again, kickbacks and all kinds of things that happen. But one thing that I think that it'd be good to do that, but it's not going to solve the problem, the affordability problem. The affordability problem is going to be solved with the lowering of interest rates. Unfortunately, inflation has been so screwed up by both administrations that the only really way that home ownership is going to be affordable is if they revamp the FHA program, which that's predatory to begin with. I don't like FHA loans any way, shape, or form. Don't like them because you put down less money. So it's crazy. People have a problem with 50-year mortgage rates, but they won't have a problem with FHA loans because FHA loans force you to allow you to put less down and your payment is higher. So less going down towards the principal and more to interest. But that's okay, math's hard. But I think it would be really cool if they revamp that program. That's fine if they want to do that, but revamp it to where there's 2% interest rates to anyone that owns a single, that purchases a single family home, that owns it. And then if they want to sell that single family home, they can get another 2% mortgage. But it just as long as it's their primary residence, not a rental, that's going to be what's going to happen. Because all this is going to do from temporarily stopping large corporations, it's still going to allow for people buying the properties and flipping them, and then the rent people that are buying to rent, that have the capital, that are able to take the debt out, because not everybody is able to take debt out the way other people are. And then it's just going to stop the big guys. So why not just stop everyone? Why not just nip it in the butt? But I mean, I don't know. So there's that. What else? JPMorgan brings JPM coin to Canton, which Canton network we talked about, you guys. They're like the TradFi RWA. They're DTC's baby. And I got a video coming for you out about that. But it looks like JPMorgan is using them. Its second extension after launching on Base. JPMorgan's Kinexus division brought JPM coin on the Canton network, making it the second deployment on a permissionless blockchain after launching on Base. Is it really permissionless though? If the banks are supporting it? I don't know. We'll see. Anyways. Tokenization. So tokenization super cycle is set to drive crypto's next leg higher. And this is according to Bernstein over here, okay? According to Bernstein. So basically they says that tokenization super cycle will drive crypto growth in 2026. I'm waiting. We'll see. I'm waiting. They believe crypto stocks could benefit. That's the key there. Crypto stocks, not crypto. They also said prediction markets may double in volume. Stablecoins and tokenized assets are expected to grow sharply. This is not a crypto. This would not, to me, like the Canton network and all of the TradFi networks that they're using, that's not going to impact crypto, really. I don't see, I mean, please correct me if I'm wrong, like how would it impact crypto? How? We're talking about stable coins. Hold on. Stable coins, tokenized assets, real estate, stock. Well, let's just move real estate out. Stocks, bonds, commodities, equities, ETFs, all of those. Crypto stocks can benefit, but that's not crypto. And also prediction markets, that's something separate. So we'll see. But that also comes after what Mr. Matt from Bitwise said. He says, if we get these three things, crypto is in for a very good year. One of them has already happened. So let's go ahead and read what he's talking about. No October 10 style blowups, passage of the market structure bill, reasonable equity market, Bitcoin and Ethereum are up about 7% year to date. Okay. So no major blowups like October 10th liquidation yet. I think those will be gone for quite some time because those will be gone for a while. That's all I'm going to say about that. Clarity Act needs passage in Congress. Again, we're supposed to hear a markup about it on the 15th. And the stock market must remain stable. Big drops could hurt crypto. I mean, Trump keeps pumping the market, so I don't see why it wouldn't happen. So that's good. Really quickly on the Genius Act, this comes from Joseph Lubin from the Ethereum from co-founder of Ethereum, founder of Consensus. But basically over here, he's talking about what some of his thoughts on the market structure markup vote. Coalition of over 125 companies urged Congress to keep the Genius Act as written. Genius Act prevents issuers from paying interest, but allows lawful rewards to consumers. Restricting rewards now would undo a compromise, create uncertainty, and hurt innovation. Stablecoin rewards benefit consumers directly, unlike low-yield bank accounts that favor banks. No evidence shows stablecoin harm community banks or cause deposit outflows. And that's what a lot of the blue is talking about. They're talking heavily about, stablecoins are bad and blah, blah, blah. But what they fail to understand, it's not even people in crypto, they fail to understand that stablecoins do give access 24/7, 365, just as long as your account is not tagged as being a naughty account, because they could claw back those funds with stablecoin transactions and whatnot. Also, too, the banks have really screwed people over. And the way that the banks have screwed people over is they just stopped giving interest. Like way back in the day, they used to give interest. You go in, you get some coffee, some cookies, sit down with your banker, have a conversation, and they would treat you good. They would definitely treat you good. Now, not so much. Not so much. So they're thinking that it's going to undermine the banks and blah blah blah. But why would they care if it undermines the banks? The banks are predatory. The banks will not give certain people loans because of the wealth gap. And again, there is no evidence showing stablecoins harm community banks or cause deposit outflows because nothing's happened yet, because we can't use them yet. So of course there's not going to be any evidence. Removing rewards will protect big banks and block new tech from competing 100%. And he emphasized stablecoins let anyone access dollars online. We talked about that. Yeah. He says preserving the Genius Act supports consumer choice, competition, and U.S. competitiveness. And I agree with him there. I think it 100% does. I think the Genius Act, I mean, we're going to get it whether we like it or not. And stablecoins will be centralized. They will not be permissionless. You can get clawed back. But at the same time, they should allow rewards. It's really not fair that because you're forced to use banks in the United States of America. You're forced to use a bank and they're not paying you for you to use it. We have to pay them. So, yeah. Rumble launched, Rumble and Tether and MoonPay, which love them. They launched a crypto wallet for the creator economy. I tried to set that up this morning. This is the thing. I stream on Rumble. I appreciate the anti-censorship. I appreciate the growth I've experienced there, but the UI UX is god awful. And they also you have to use the Rumble Creator Studio. It barely works with Restream. So it's a little bit frustrating. Like, it enables audiences, tip creators in Bitcoin and Tether. And that's great. But like, there's so many restrictions and it's just not user friendly, which is really unfortunate. And I just wish before, and again, I've been doing this so long as a full-time content creator since like 2018. And somebody who's been doing crypto this long, I just wish these big companies really, really, really focused on UI UX, and they just didn't. They maybe them talking to creators, I have no idea, but it's just not really set up yet. Like, I think it's a wonderful idea. I love it because you can't censor Bitcoin, but at the same time, it's just not ready for the masses yet. Like, if I couldn't figure out how to set it up, and I was having issues with it, and I'm crypto savvy, I'm crypto native, I don't know. But, we go on and upward. But anyways, you guys, I'm sending you all love and light. I'm going to go. I'm going to try to stay off the internet today because I'm just so frustrated with X. It's just incredibly, incredibly sad what's happening over there. But anyways. Yeah, they do. They literally, Rumble's great because they really are anti-censorship, unlike X. But the issue with Rumble is that, again, their UI UX is terrible. Like, I have 2 profiles there, which is really weird. And, it's just not set up great yet. So hopefully they fix that, but we'll see. Anyway, sending y'all love and light. I'm going to go. I'm still taking this stupid eye drop and it went down and I got really tired again. I feel like crap. So anyways, bye babies.